Hello everyone, welcome to Back Me channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Felicia learns that Martin is connected to Pine Valley. Willow told Michael that she wanted to add Nina to the list of those who were permitted to see Willow in her hospital room. She emphasized that they had received a miracle. Willow asked, "Shouldn't we share it?" Michael was reminded by Willow that, like it or not, Sunny and Nina were both a part of their family, and that Nina was engaged to be married. Michael acknowledged that despite his unforgiveness towards Sunny for harming Carly and the family, he had run out of time to pursue a grudge. Willow was happy for Michael and acknowledged that she didn't want to waste any more time after all the time she had already wasted. Michael reminded his wife that she had heroically battled for them and come back. Willow, moved, gave Michael the reassurance that she didn't expect him to forgive Nina, but that she had always made an effort to mend fences with harmony, and thought she owed Nina the same courtesy. Willow proclaimed, "I want to get to know the mother I never had and let her get to know me." Nurse Clara entered the room after Michael left and gave Willow her best wishes. The compassionate nurse was complimented by Willow for going above and beyond the call of duty and assisting her in realizing that life wasn't all about her. Clara remarked, "I was right, wasn't I? A girl needs her mom." Sunny and Nina talked about Willow's improved health in the penthouse. Sunny offered to visit the hospital and speak with Willow on Nina's behalf, because Nina was upset that Willow would be leaving for home without her. Nina touchedly reminded him that Sunny had been cautioned by Michael not to put pressure on Willow. Nina acknowledged that if Willow had reached out, she might have felt differently. "We both understand, though, that she won't give me a chance," Nina remarked. "Never say never," Sunny advised her. It was said by Sunny that he thought in miracles. He reminded Nina that a miracle had gotten him to Nixon Falls and prevented him from falling into the frigid waters. Nina grinned because she admired Sunny's romantic side, but she also noted that not everyone thought their meeting had been a success. Sunny claimed that he and Nina couldn't go back in time or repair the harm they had done, but if it weren't for Nina's aunt, Willow might not have survived. "You did that for her. You gave her a gift of a family," Sunny remarked. Sunny's phone rang just then. Michael was there. The reason Willow wanted to see her mom first, according to Michael, was because she had been given the all-clear to return home. Shortly after Sunny and Nina arrived at the hospital, Nina experienced a moment of anxiety as she recalled telling Ava that any possibility of Nina and Willow developing a romantic relationship would be destroyed if Willow learned that Nina had reported Drew and Carly to the SEC. When Sunny prompted her to explain what was wrong, Nina shoved the memory away. Nina defended her lack of bravery. Nina remarked, "I can't do this." But as Nurse Clara approached, she inquired as to whether Nina was Willow's mother. Yes, I am," Nina replied. Clara stated that she was thrilled for both Nina and Willow because Willow had mentioned that Nina would be paying a visit. Nina was told to choose a mask from a box that Clara had held out. Later, Michael entered the corridor and told Nina that Willow was prepared to meet with her. When they were by themselves, Sunny told Michael he was glad Willow had shown Nina her heart. Willow had only opened the door, Michael hurried to explain. Michael continued, "And it remains to be seen if Nina will make Willow regret it." Nina met Willow tensely in the hospital room. Nina expressed her delight at Willow's improved appearance and inquired as to whether there was anything she could do to assist. Willow said that while she would welcome Nina to visit, she would need some time to settle in at home. Willow informed Nina that she had one requirement, and Nina was pleasantly delighted that she had been included. Willow wished for Nina's desire for Carly's retribution to end. "You must reconcile with Carly if you want to be a part of my life," Willow replied. Nina assured her rivalry with Carly had been over. Soon after, Sunny and Michael arrived. Nina hurried over to tell Sunny the good news. With the meantime, Willow questioned whether Michael was disappointed with her choice, but he reassured her that her happiness was his top priority. He was unaware that Felicia, who was posing as a housekeeper, waited until all was quiet before entering his room with a keycard. Mac was astonished that Cody thought of him as a buddy at the hotel's pool. Cody was reprimanded by Dante for being fortunate to have a friend like Mac. Dante declared, "It's a wicked world out there." Cody took offense to Dante's advice and claimed that throughout their time spent at camp, Dante had a habit of making up scary tales. Cody was reassured by Dante that monsters existed and they resembled Scott Baldwin. When Mac's phone rang, Cody and Dante's conversation was interrupted. Maxie was there. Maxie clarified that Felicia hadn't shown up to watch James since Georgie and Bailey were with Liesel. Maxie was reassured by Mac that he was on his way. Mac thanked Cody for the theft charges being dropped after he ended the call and wished him luck in making the most of the good fortune. Martin was standing there as Mac was making his way out. Mac greeted Martin and then inquired as to whether or not he'd followed his counsel. Martin made a commitment to Mac that he would heed his advice not to withhold anything from Lucy. Mac was pleased to note how similar Martin's outfit resembled the one he was sporting. Martin removed his jacket once Mac had left, kicked off his shoes, and sat down on a couch. Cody was questioned by Dante about what he and Scott were up to in the meantime. Cody reacted angrily to Dante's attitude and reminded him that Scott had previously interacted with Cody's mother. Dante changed his focus because he wanted to know why Cody wouldn't tell Mac the truth regarding the DNA test. Cody argued that it was best for Mac not to be aware that Cody was Mac, but Dante disagreed since he believed Mac could give Cody sound advice on Scott. Cody grew angry and yelled at Dante to stop. Cody insisted that it was actually him, not Scott, who had contacted him. Dante was dubious because despite Cody's intelligence, he lacked good judgment. Cody countered that not every father had the ties like Sam's or Dante's father, a family, and friends. Dante opposed due to the fact that Cody had a number of friends, including Sam and Sasha, as well as a father and family, but Cody had to let them in. Dante suggested, "Perhaps the money is more valuable to you." Cody asserted that he had come to the realization that his only guarantee was himself. Dante inquired, "How's that working out for you?" Tracy thanked Diane for meeting her and moved closer. Diane got right to the point and inquired about Tracy's needs after explaining that she had been her route to meet a client. Tracy passed Diane a check for $40,000 across the table. Although Diane acknowledged that she had all the clients she could manage, she was impressed by the opening offer. Tracy was aware of how busy Sunny and Carly kept Diane, but she had faith that Diane would abandon all other cases in order to take Tracy's. Diane was intrigued and decided to listen to Tracy. Tracy said, "I'd like to report a robbery." Diane looked over the packet that Tracy had handed her. Diane questioned, "The Deceptor?" Diane inquired as to how Tracy had gained access to the private documents of deception. Tracy thought back to Brooklyn handing her the flash drive containing the information, but she pushed the memory aside and informed Diane that what mattered was figuring out how Lucy had obtained the design. Given that a medication like Deceptor typically requires years of study to develop, Diane concurred that it was strange. Tracy drew attention to the timeline, which showed that the Deceptor designs had abruptly materialized in Deception's archives the previous October. Diane questioned Tracy's assertion that Deception had committed intellectual property theft and inquired as to whether Maxie, Sasha, Lucy, and Tracy's own granddaughter were also to blame. Tracy made it clear that she had made no accusations against anyone. Yet, Tracy remarked, before accepting the case, Diane said that she would need further details. Diane was curious about the source of the inspiration. Tracy agreed to share all the details with Diane, but only after Diane promised to act as her representative. Diane acknowledged that the case might result in a significant profit. Tracy agreed to give Diane a quarter of the settlement, but Diane was certain that she would only take a third. Martin's couch
Diane
after
received
picking
the
up her
payment
drink
and walked away.
She placed a few drips of her drink on Martin's face after dipping her fingers in it. When Martin's eyes suddenly opened, he was perplexed and searched until he found Tracy. Tracy greeted Marty. "Hello, Marty. Weren't you going to say hello?" Martin was taken aback when he saw her. Tracy acknowledged that it had been a while since they had met paths. Martin remarked, "You were in jail." Tracy admitted that she and Alexis had an unfortunate misunderstanding, and that she had never adequately thanked Martin for his assistance. Martin inquired as to where the bill should be sent. Tracy laughed because his sense of humor was still intact. She immediately shifted the subject and inquired about the status of Martin and Lucy's relationship. Martin declared his relationship with Lucy. "To each his own," Tracy remarked. Tracy responded to Martin's criticism of her remark by saying that although her late brother Alan had also found Lucy to be irresistible, their relationship had not been a match made in heaven. It had, Martin acknowledged, sounded almost like a warning. Tracy affirmed, "It's a forecast." Tracy only grinned in response to Martin's assertion that he and Lucy had unshakable faith in one another. She inquired as to Martin's interest in a brief proposition. Sam inquired about Carly's intentions for a refinancing in the kitchen. Carly acknowledged that she couldn't afford it and had her doubts about the bank's willingness to provide her a loan. Sam was shocked when Carly revealed that she had made the decision to list the property. Jocelyn and Trina planned to obtain an off-campus apartment in the fall when they returned to school. So Carly and Donna would be the only residents, she said. Carly was certain that the proceeds from the sale of the home would be sufficient to buy an apartment off Charles Street and to provide for her and Donna. Sam agreed that it made reasonable, but cautioned Carly against making hasty decisions. Sam said, "This is your house." Carly stated that she couldn't afford to be sentimental and that it was a tiny price to pay in comparison to Drew's price of giving up his freedom. Sam pondered Drew's reaction to Carly's choice, but Carly was adamant that she didn't want Drew to find out until it was too late to halt the sale. Sam reminded Carly that the house was the only item she had requested in her divorce from Sonny, and Sam warned her that Donna would be furious. Carly admitted it wasn't a simple choice. Sam's friendship meant a lot to Carly, and she expressed her gratitude while explaining that the experiences she had had there will serve as the cornerstone of her new life and the new Carly. Carly said that she had previously done it after Sam praised her for her tenacity. "And when I'm done, I'm going to get everything back this time," Carly added. A short while later, Diane showed in and expressed her regret for being late. Sam came to the conclusion that it was time to go. Carly informed Diane about her desire to sell the house after Sam had left, and she requested Diane's assistance in negotiating the best price. She pleaded with Diane not to dissuade her. "There is nothing else I can do. This is the only option I have," Carly said. Diane requested a chance to present her argument because she was upset that Carly had dismissed her. Maxie thanked her father for monitoring James at her flat. James, who was sick of being the only kid in the house, begged his grandfather if he could move in with Mac. James's protest surprised Maxie, but Mac grinned and reassured his daughter that he had everything under control. When Maxie spotted her mother waiting on the threshold, she started to open the door to leave, but she stopped. Felicia said she was sorry for being late. Mac inquired as to his wife's lateness after Maxie had left. James inquired about Felicia's work after she replied that she had been working on a case. James was intrigued when Felicia revealed that she was a private eye who solved puzzles similar to those he had read about in his novels. James ran out with joy when Felicia told him to find an old sheet. Felicia was informed by Mac that the accusations against Cody had been dropped, so she no longer had to worry about him. Felicia expressed her happiness for Cody, but she also acknowledged that she was occupied with a case for an old acquaintance. Mac questioned who it was, but James came back carrying a sheet. Felicia swiftly laid out the sheet on the ground and piled trash on top of it. James was informed by Felicia that they needed to look through the trash for clues. Mac was asked what hummingbird cake was by James after he picked up a piece of paper. Mac asked whose rubbish it was, and if Felicia had obtained it lawfully before turning his focus back to Felicia after informing him that it was an old Southern dessert. Felicia reassured him that it shreds of paper. "Jackpot," said Felicia. Felicia saw that some of the fragments were huge, indicating that the papers had been shredded quickly. A piece of paper with Martin's name on it was discovered by James. The documents were bank statements, Mac realized. James went to the kitchen for cookies since he was getting bored of fitting the puzzle pieces together. Felicia learned that Martin had been getting a monthly transfer of $50,000. Although Mac questioned why the checks hadn't been obtained from a bank in Port Charles, she concluded that the client was Valentin. When Felicia turned her head, she saw that the deposits had really been taken from a bank in Pine Valley, Pennsylvania. Sasha walked into Maxie's office at Deception and hurriedly swallowed one of the pills that Dr. Montague had given. A little while later, Brooke Lynn entered the room and greeted Sasha. Brooke Lynn reported hearing that Cody's charges had been dropped as Lucy entered. Lucy told Sasha that while she was excited to celebrate the good news, they needed to take care of some business first. Brooke Lynn wanted to know if the meeting was related to the introduction of a new product, but Lucy wouldn't talk about it until Maxie showed up. The topic of Cody and the grounds for the charges dismissal came up again. Gladys had made an honest error, according to Sasha, who clarified that the bracelet had been lost. Sasha informed Brooke Lynn and Lucy that she was confident the court would find in her favor because she had the support of her doctor when Lucy questioned whether she still intended to end the guardianship. Sasha made the impulsive decision to go get a latte at Perks to mark the approaching start of her freedom. Sasha walked away before Lucy could stop her. Maxie showed up a short while later. "I may now announce the news," Lucy remarked. When Lucy explained that Deception's IT team had discovered an unauthorized download of highly sensitive information from one of their executive laptops, Maxie and Brooke Lynn were taken aback. Maxie countered that the password protection on their files rendered it impossible. "Maxie, you stole it. I'm not accusing one of us. I'm saying you, Lucy." Maxie said that she had perused the files the day before, but she added that Brooke Lynn could attest to the fact that she hadn't downloaded any documents. Maxie argued that she had no motive to steal her own files when Lucy proceeded to interview Brooke Lynn about what had happened in her office. Maxie was correct, Lucy realized. Lucy questioned, "But if you didn't do it, then who did?"